Oh, good. Evidently, Firefox is happier with going live than Safari. Sorry. Nobody's on here anyway, so it doesn't matter that I'm a couple of minutes late to my own live stream. Evening, everybody. Celine Driver again. Wanted to do a live chat with you here from formerly sunny state of Florida, a state that is, quite frankly, at the moment, probably losing its mind a little bit thanks to Hurricane Dorian. You guys may, well, for people who watch this stream in the future, this is being done on August 30th, 2019. There's a Category 4 hurricane hovering out there in the Atlantic, which is a couple of days away from hitting the state of Florida. And although the track looks better than it did even about 6 hours ago, and looks like maybe most of the heavy damage stuff may even not hit the state, according to some models. It's still a dangerous storm out there, and I hope anyone who's watching me or will watch this from the state of Florida, I hope that you stay safe or you stayed safe and come through the storm okay. It's going to be an interesting Labor Day weekend for the state of Florida. I can tell you that. As the title of the stream said, I wanted to do a stream with respect to the, and my top of my head's cut off a little bit here. Let me fix that. The stream, I'm sorry, the stream. The Watch World recently found out that the Seiko, the beloved Seiko SKX line has been discontinued. And people are freaking out a little bit. I find it very strange that there's this level of freaking out over a watch. I mean, of all the dozens of watch manufacturers out there and thousands and thousands of models that are available across hundreds and hundreds of watch makers. Hey Joseph, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. As I was saying, of all the and I agree that the SKX is a legendary watch. I mean, you know, some people will argue, like I've heard argued before, that you're not truly a motorhead or a petrol head or whatever unless you've owned this or that car. I think most people joke about Alfa Romeo. That you can't be a true watch collector unless you have an SKX in your collection from time to time. And I do. I have this SKX. This is an SKX, believe it or not. This is a different SKX than most people are used to. They're used to the 007, the 009, the 13, the this, the that. This is an SKX. SKX A65. This is a limited edition SKX that was only available in the Thailand market, and I managed to. I saw it on a video review from the Random Rob channel, and he put it up on the Sunday Fun Day soon after that, and I was able to grab the watch at a very reasonable price. And this watch has actually had a mod done to it. It's actually got a dome sapphire crystal on it. Let's see, can I get up close to the camera and give you a good look at her? I mean, she's a beautiful watch. I love the 50-50 bezel, and the blue of the dial is supposed to look like the blue of the Thai flag. But it's a beautiful watch. This is watch. I believe it's number 1985 out of 2,999. I did a video on this watch, an unboxing and review. So if you want to go take a look at it, I definitely um, go back into the archives of my channel, and you'll see. I've also owned a 007 and 009 before. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. Feel free to voice opinions there, Joseph. You're the only one on there besides me. But I see these videos of people lamenting the death of the SKX, and I understand that. I do. But I wanted to make a video, and my friend Chris at the Watch Lounge kind of beat me to it this afternoon, but I figured I'd make the video anyway. Let's have a little perspective, folks. Let's not lose our minds. I mean, you can still get SKXs out there. I believe my buddy Mark over at Long Island Watch is still selling them. He's still selling them as part of not only stock SKXs, but also as part of his, what's it called? I forgot the name of the program, but basically you can customize your SKXs, and he's got some other watches out there too. Bezels, crystals, handsets, all kinds of things. Straps, bracelets. Your watch, your way. That's what he calls it. Your watch, your way. I even went online earlier. Thank you. That's right, Joseph. Your watch, your way. I even went online during Chris's. Chris runs the Watch Lounge. I went online during to eBay during his chat, and I just punched in SKX 009. 222 results came up, all for sale, all between. There was one guy started an auction at $150 for a pre-owned one. You got to buy it now at $200. That was tempting. But somewhere in the buy it now, somewhere between $200 and $250. And they were on different bracelet types. The bracelet type formerly known as Oyster, the formerly known as Jubilee. We're not allowed to say those words, or else Rolex comes down and hunts us down and kills us, I guess. And that's just one quick search on one website. I mean, the number of SKXs out there in the pipeline has to be in the hundreds, tens of thousands. The number of SKXs out there in total has got to be hundreds of thousands, maybe even a million. I don't know. Hey, I remember that name. T-Look-C. No, T-Look. Steve, I don't know how to pronounce your name, dude. But thanks for stopping by. Do people prefer the rubber strap or the Jubilee on the SKX? That's a good question. I had a 009 and a 007 at the same time. I left the 007 on its rubber strap. I left the 009 on the Jubilee strap. And I really didn't like the Jubilee. It was too jingly jangly for me. It just made a lot of noise. It wasn't very comfortable. So I eventually changed it out for a strap code Super Oyster, or whatever they call it. Let's see, Joseph asks, just hope the prices don't skyrocket as the supply chain dwindles. Well, I'm getting to that on one of my thoughts. I'm getting to that. I think the supply chain out there is probably fairly good, but think about the alternatives. Used watches. You have you have the aftermarket out there. I mean, a guy like Random Rob, for example, he buys parts for modding or building or whatever SKXs. You can literally go to a place like Crystal Time or a whole bunch of other companies that he lists out in some of his more recent videos. You can literally build an SKX from aftermarket third-party parts. I mean, SKX cases, a variety of crystals, God knows how many colorways of faces and bezels and bezel inserts and different bezel types. You want sawtooth, you want coin edge, you want the standard SKX bezel type like this one. I mean, you could build this watch if you buy the right parts. It won't be an SKX A65, but it'll be an SKX. I mean, even if you wiped out all the, if you sold every single SKX, new and used, sold them all, and you couldn't buy another whole watch, you could build one out of parts. The movements out there, I mean, you could go with the 7S26, you'd go with an NH35, NH36, one of the 6Rs, you know, movements, or if you want a dive watch, but you don't want the SKXs aren't available, or the prices are too high for a used watch or whatever, or you don't want to build one out of parts yourself, buy a Turtle. This is a Turtle. I forgot the exact model number, but this is what they call the Nemo. This is a JDM market. I actually had to order this one from a guy in Australia. But God knows I've had 4 or 5 different Turtles over the course of my collecting, including, and my father currently has one of the Pepsi Turtles. I mean, the Turtles and the SKXs, we're trying to get this right here. The Turtles and the SKXs, they're both 200-meter dive watches. They both have the crown at 4 o'clock. They're very similar. Maybe you don't want to get an SKX because it's discontinued. Go get Turtle. Go get a Sumo. Go get a Tuna. What's that other one? Tuna Samurai. Get the Samurai. What else we got here? Is the orange SKX being discontinued? Yes, all SKXs are being discontinued. Even the orange one, good luck finding one. Those are going to be tough. Those were tough even when they weren't being discontinued. The yellow ones, they're, I forgot what number that was, SKX 011? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, the yellow ones, the black ones, the Pepsi ones, the blue ones, the orange ones, the green with yellow polka dots, whatever. No, there was never one of those. They're all gone. They're being replaced by a Seiko 5 model, which I'm not interested in. It's not, in my mind, a dive watch. It's 100-meter water resistant. They don't look like an SKX. If I wanted an SKX, I can still buy one. I can still build one. There's no reason to panic. What is, let's see, Joseph here. Joseph was responding to you, T-Look. All SKXs are being discontinued. And he says, I own a Patty Turtle. It's an awesome Seiko, but it's not the SKX. I agree. My dad has a Patty Turtle Pepsi. I had a Patty Turtle Pepsi. I had a Save the Ocean one. I sold both of those. My dad loves his Pepsi Turtle. They're not an SKX. They're a different animal. But it is a viable and similar alternative. And Random Rob is forever buying these things up and gutting them to put the movements into SKX builds. So you tell me. Let's see. You own a Sumo, Joseph, or you're looking to own one? Because the Sumo is definitely a top tier Seiko. That's true. Hey, Desert. Let's see. Need a troll, or do you pay extortion money? Why would I? What were you going to extort money out of me? Is this coming from the no good reason to stream crowd? They're still pissed off at me. Fuck them. The way they treated me at the end, fuck them. I love them to death, but fuck them. I got tired of that whole thing. But why are we extorting money out of me, Desert? Come on now. Let's see. Hey, Collector, how you doing, man? Yeah, well, this is finally got on one of these. Um, I think this is only my fourth live stream. I don't do very many of them. I prefer to do one when I actually have something to talk about. Um, just when I have something to talk about, I want to talk about this SKX. Everyone's going into a mild panic over the fact that they got canceled, and I think it's silly. So let's see. Question: how often should we service our Zelos automatics? I don't know. I've only ever had problem with one Zelos, and it was one of the version 1 Makos. And basically the winder mechanism locked up on it. Those Soletas, the SW200s, they're a little sensitive. That's why all my Makos and my Great Whites are on winders now, because they're a little overly sensitive to being wound too much. And I just contacted Elshin. He sent me a new one. I had it in 3 days. He said, just go ahead and swap the case back to the new one, put the old case back, put the case back for the replacement onto the dead watch, and send the dead watch back, which I did that, and everyone was happy. Desert says, have no idea, just here to support any. Well, I appreciate that, Desert. I really do. Do you have any interest in watches? I mean, we can talk to auditors if you want. I mean, I'll talk about anything while I have an audience. But I appreciate the support. I really do. Joseph says he owns a Blue Mo. I'm going to have to look up a picture of that. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I guess it's a Blue Sumo, which I've never seen a Blue Sumo. All the Sumos I've ever seen are black ones, and they're really nice looking black ones, but they're black ones. Oh, and I'll give you a spoiler alert for everyone on the chat. I'm gonna drop, assuming I still have power and the storm doesn't murder me, which I don't think it's going to. I have a video coming up on will load up on Monday, which I think y'all are gonna like that watch. No, it's not a Zelos, believe it or not. It'll be I won't tell you what brand it is. Give you a hint. Seiko. But a really nice pickup for me at a really good price. So I think y'all will enjoy that. So getting back to collector's question, how often do we service the Zelos? I would throw that question to Elshin. I think I'll throw it out of myself, but my philosophy on servicing watches is, as long as they're running, why screw with them? And believe me, I've had my share of problems with watches failing on me. I recently lost one of my Accutrons. The coils failed again. So that one is up with Bob Piker being rebuilt again. Was not one of the ones he sold me, so I can't blame him for it. So he said he'd get it back to me in a couple of weeks. Let's see what else we got here. And T-Look says, what do we think is the next line of watches Seiko will discontinue? I would think that if you're going to put a watch on the chopping block, I would think to myself, maybe the Tuna. I don't think the Tuna is as popular as the Turtle. And I think it can be easily substituted by the Turtle. So I think the Tuna they might consider it to be redundant, but that's just my opinion. Joseph says it is a Blue Sumo. If you have the model number for that, shoot it over on the chat so I can look it up later and admire a watch. Maybe I can admire that from afar. I like the Sumo, but I haven't broken down and gotten one yet. I've been too busy buying up all the Zelos as I can. Let's see, Desert Talk watches. Maybe you'll learn something. Hey, ask away, man. We all love it when people ask us questions about this hobby. We will talk forever. I mean, I could do an hour on entry level watches easily. Let's see. Collector says completely forgot about the storm. Hope you stay safe. I think. Oh, and answering your question, no problem. The latest track of Darien is showing that the storm is actually drifting to the east now. Some models are showing that it approaches Florida around West Palm Beach, which is the east coast, southeast coast of Florida, and then pivots north, almost a 90-degree turn, and literally the eye of the storm parallels the coast. It never comes on shore. Now, another model shows it comes on shore barely and literally follows I-95 straight up to Jacksonville and then curves off into Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then eventually out into the Atlantic again. Now, another model shows it coming in, getting to the middle of the state, and then tracking north, going right through Orlando and Gainesville, and then tracking off to the northeast through South Georgia and into the Carolinas. I hope it doesn't go anywhere near Gainesville because my daughters are in Gainesville, and I would spare them the hurricanes that I've had to live through in my lifetime. The latest one being Irma a couple of years ago. I did not enjoy that, and neither did the city I live in. But if it could avoid my side of the state, which is the West Coast, so that my parents and I don't lose power, and I'm more worried about my parents, because they're older people now and they don't do well without electricity. Let's see. New guy, 7. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Hope the storm goes easy on you. It looks like it might. It looks like it might. I'm telling you, I'm not sleeping, keeping an eye on that TV behind me, keeping an eye on the storm track. We should get another big advisory at 11 p.m. Eastern, which is about 2.5 hours. And we should know some more. I think by this time Saturday, the state of Florida will know what it's in for, and that cone of uncertainty will shrink down. Let's see. Okay, Joseph says that the model of his watch is SBDC033. Let me write that down. SBDC0. I'm going to look that up, Joseph. I want to see what a picture of that looks like. Get a Sumo, Seiko's most underrated watch. Yeah, I would agree. The Sumo is probably one of the more underrated watches, especially when it goes up against the Marine Master and all the other higher-end Seiko divers. Steven says he's holding off on an SKX purchase for a bit. I don't blame you. I think now is as good a time as any to buy an SKX. I think the prices are going to be fairly stable because, there's supply out there. This is just water, folks. This is nothing but water. Callaway Blue, really good tasting water. I think now is as good a time as any to buy an SKX. There's plenty of supply out there. As I was saying earlier in the video, I went on to eBay earlier today just for the hell of it and typed in SKX 009. There were 222 listings on eBay this afternoon, and the prices were between $150 and $250, depending on if it was an auction or a buy it now, or whether you go new or used. So there's supply out there, people. Just because they discontinued the bloody thing, nobody should be losing their minds. You can buy them. There's probably supply in the pipeline to last at least until the holidays, I'm guessing, but come on. You can build your own if you want to. There are turtles. There are Sumos. There are tunas. There are Marine Masters. Well, Marine Masters, not in the price range, obviously, but there's plenty out there. There's plenty. Maybe the orange ones and the yellow ones are going to be hard to find, but I'm counting on Chris from the Watch Lounge to get sick of his orange one and sell it to me. And then I'm going to take that purple strap off and going to put a blue strap on it for my Gators. Let's see what else we got here. T-Look says Boulevard Oceanographer. What do people think of the vintage variations? I gotta admit, I'm not familiar with what the Oceanographer looks like. I will look it up. I love vintage Bullovas. I have 4 vintage Bulova Accutrons. One of them dates to 1961. The other ones are mid-60s watches. I love Bulova. It's a fantastic make even today. Solid, high-quality watch, I would say. Buy away. Just if you're going to buy a vintage Bulova Accutron, I have a recommendation for you. Don't get it off of eBay. You're going to cost yourself more money in the end. I would go to my friend Bob Piker. I know I pimp him all the time. mybob.net is his website. Go to that website. He has a couple dozen different Accutrons for sale. He buys them, he sells them, he services them, he restores them. That's all he does is Accutrons. And the watches he sells are serviced and restored to death, and they run solid. The only thing about Accutrons is they eat batteries like crazy, so be prepared for that. The bottle cap, Stephen. Yes, I owned a bottle cap. Notice the term past tense, owned. I had a bottle cap for quite a while. I sold it. I wasn't wearing it that much in the end, and I was trying to fund another purchase. There's a video on my channel about unboxing and reviewing the bottle cap, so if you want to go look at that and see, my thoughts and so on about the bottle. I think it was a fantastic watch. It was a unique looking watch. It had really short lug overhang, so it fit real well on the wrist. And it was really a nice and unusual looking watch, and I would say if you're looking for an entry-level Seiko, I would say the bottle cap is a fantastic buy. I had the blue one, the one with the blue bezel. Beautiful watch. I think they also had one in root beer color, which was really an unusual watch color. Go take a look at that one. You can get one from Long Island, Mark over at Long Island Watch. He's got good prices, and his shipping time is really good. I think it's 2-day FedEx for no extra charge. You might want to check with his site, but I recommend dealing with Mark at Long Island Watch any day of the week. Outside of Elshin over at Zelos, Mark is right up there, top-notch customer service. What else we got here? Joseph, you can get an orange SKX on Amazon, still available. Good to know. Good to know. I'm not really looking to buy another watch right now. I've got a couple of expenses coming up in September. Although, when it comes to watches, you never say never, but I'm trying to behave. I'm trying to be good in the month of September, and I'm trying not to buy any more watches until I pay down a couple of debts. Car payments mostly for the kids. So I want to get those paid down a little more. And I know in October, Zelos is coming out with a new Hammerhead line. I believe they're targeting October. I'm looking to buy one of those. And come the end of September, I believe if the guy I'm working with is right about his schedule, mid to late September, I should have a surprise, one-of-a-kind watch for the channel. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. Steven's going to go look at the video. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Would there be outrage if Seiko discontinued the SNK 805, 809? Let me look that up real quick. I'm not familiar with that. Hang on, I'm gonna yes. Yeah, that too. Seiko. Ironically, Random Rob is doing a live stream right now. SNK 809. Let's see. Oh, that's a pretty watch. It's one of the Seiko 5s. That's not a bad looking watch. And the 805. Same watch with a similar watch with a olive band. Hey, I don't know that there would be outrage. That's a strong word. I think there's outrage out there right now that the SKX got discontinued. But guys, that thing's been around forever. Even the VW Beetle got discontinued. I was about to say Toyota Corolla, but that thing is still out there. That'll be out there forever. But outrage, nah. I would be willing to bet that most people wouldn't even notice. Thank you. So outrage, no, I don't think so. Got anything else out there? I thought Chris was going to join me from the Watch Lounge, but I guess he got busy. 809 and 805 are very popular on Amazon. Okay, I didn't know that. Quite honestly, I'd never heard of them myself, but I don't know. How popular is popular? I mean, they're selling like a couple hundred a day or something like that. I don't know. I got to be honest, Steve and T-Look, I don't think there'd be too much outrage. Not like the SKX. The SKX has a cult following at this point. What's the watch of the day for a collector? Oh, I have on my SKX SKX A65. This is the Thailand only market limited edition of 2,999. I did a video on this watch about a month ago. I saw it on Random Rob's channel, and then he put it up for sale on the Sunday Funday or Funday Sunday or whatever the hell he calls it. And I didn't think I had any chance in hell of being the first person to say I want it, but I emailed him immediately and said I want it. And it was mine. It was a great price. And it's the only SKX I currently own. I put it on, and you may notice I put it on a black leather strap. I'm buying all my leather straps aftermarket now from Colareb, Colareb. That's in Italy. I think it's colareb.it. Really, really high quality leather straps, and they smell wonderful. I mean, they smell like Italian leather shoes. Gorgeous, soft. I mean, right out of the package, they're very soft and supple. And I get them in 3 days. 3 days from Italy to Florida, and it's only €13. I don't know what €13 is in real money. I don't care. €13 to ship it, 3 days, UPS, and it's there. So I literally think I bought a dozen Colareb leather straps for my watches. I'm not buying leather straps from anybody else. They're just too damn good and too damn customer focused for me to even consider another leather strap from somebody else. So, and I say that without any sponsorship or anything like that. Hell, I don't have any sponsorship of any kind on my channel. I wish I had something. I mean, Watch Lounge gets samples from ADs all the time. I get Schneebeitzen, which is Yiddish for nothing. Steven says he agrees on my points. I appreciate that, Steven. I'm glad I'm not just sitting here talking to aggravate people. Seiko Sea Urchin, great alternative to the SKX. I agree. It is. There are always alternatives, my friends. You can buy used. You can buy off eBay right now, brand new ones. They're listed as brand new. I'm sure that Mark at Long Island Watch has some brand new ones still left. There are probably private sellers out there that have stockpiled them. And you don't have to pay ridiculous prices, as I've said 4 times already. I went out on eBay this afternoon. I punched in SKX 009. There were 222 listings. The prices varied from one guy at a beginning auction price of $150 with a $200 buy it now for a previously owned one. The prices never exceeded $250. So for $250, you're going to have a brand new SKX 009. I'm sure the 007s are very similar. Now, the harder to find colorways, somebody said they saw a, who said that? Joseph, you said there was an orange SKX on Amazon. Do you know what the price was? Can you tell me that real quick? If it's not too much trouble, I appreciate that. But, you know, they're still out there. And if they're not out there, if they magically disappeared next week, build your own. Crystal Time, this place, that place, the other place around the corner. Everyone's selling cases and crystals and movements and chapter rings and gaskets and crowns and stems. You can literally build an SKX without one Seiko part in it other than probably the movement and the crown and stem. And in the 38 and 42 millimeter sizes. So I mean, if it isn't out there, build it. Everyone, I see all these people freaking out and thinking about they're gonna have to pay exorbitant prices for these watches. It ain't true. It's not true. Don't panic. Don't overpay and don't panic. They're out there. The supply is out there. The parts are out there. There are people like Random Rob out there who will build you one. Well, he may not build you one to order, but he's building them and selling them. So they're out there. What else we got? Why didn't they ever do a small SKX of the 009? I don't know. It's a good idea, though. Well, heck, you know, buy a SKX 013 and put a Pepsi bezel on it. I mean, shit, there's probably Pepsi bezels from 14 different manufacturers and 14 different materials if you want them. I'd go get a 13 and then go find a Pepsi bezel and swap it out. All you need is one of those knife things to pop the bezel off and pop the bezel off, pop the insert out, and put in the new insert. And let's see, collector, which upcoming Zelos watch are you the most looking forward to? The Hammerhead. I know I've seen some renderings of the Hammerhead 2. I promised Elson I wouldn't talk about it any more than that, but there's a version of the Hammerhead 2 that I'm looking forward to very much, and I am absolutely a buyer when that thing comes out. I don't care if I have to eat ramen noodles for the next month. That watch will be in my collection. Actually, that'll be my 5th Hammerhead. I have 4 now, so that one is the only one that I'm interested in personally because it's so different from the other ones I have. That adding that one to my collection makes perfect sense. The Mako 3, I've got 4 Mako 1s. I'm really not looking at another Mako unless there's something spectacular about it, in which case I'll probably sell off one of my Mako 1s relatively inexpensively to make room for it. I'm not really willing to put a fifth Mako into my collection. Four's enough. Price for the orange. The orange SKX is $252. Really? Oh my. Oh, that's tempting. Oh, that's tempting. And that's Amazon, you say. And I have some Amazon cash kind of stashed away into my account. Huh. Oh, Joseph, you got me thinking again. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. How can I get, the collector wants to know how you get on this secret distro list. I don't know that it's a secret or not. I just talk to Elshin all the time on Facebook Messenger. Probably 2 or 3 times a week, I'll ask him some question about something. But so, I mean, if you want a PM, if you're on the Zelos Timekeepers group on Facebook, you can message Elshin on the Facebook PM, and he probably talk to you for as long as you want to talk, or as long as he's able to talk. And you might learn things. I just know that he showed me this couple of things, and I said I wouldn't talk about them out of respect. And out of respect, I will say that I know something's coming, and it's different, and that's all I'm going to say because he asked me to do that. So, yeah, okay, I'm privy to a little bit of information, but I mean, it's not like it's a secret club with a secret handshake and we all wear fezzes on our head and stuff like that. It's crazy. Let's see. Joseph's laughing at me because he made me think. So back at you, guy. I appreciate that. I just have a feeling that there's an orange SKX in my future, unless they sell out. But it's probably going to be well into September before I order it, because I got to tell you, when a hurricane rolls through your state, all kinds of things get screwed up, and not even the mighty Amazon can and Amazon Prime and their magic minivans can stand up to the wrath of Mother Nature. SKA T-Look says, is the SKA 35 being discontinued? I don't know. Is that the put that in there. SKA 35. No, I'd say, well, wait a minute. Is that the yellow one? Is that an SKX? It doesn't. Well, it looks like an SKX. Wait a minute. I mean, it looks like an SKX. Oh, SKX A35. Yes, it's not SKX. It's not SKA. It's SKXA 35. Yeah, all SKXs are being discontinued. So I would say that one goes too. That's a nice one though. That's a yellow. That one goes too. That's a nice one though. That's a yellow one. Can you see that? No, you probably can't watch that. That's the yellow one. Looks like it has a black bezel, yellow face. That's a nice looking piece. I'm not a big fan of yellow. I had one yellow watch. It was a Doxa diving star. I never wore the damn thing. I sold it. I made a huge profit on it because they're very rare. The yellow Doxas are very rare. I never wore it. I felt foolish wearing the yellow watch, so I never wore it. Let's see. The orange one is nice, said Steven. Yes, it is. I agree. Let's see. Joseph says, I own an orange dial M-Force Bravo by Orient. Nice watch. Orient makes a great piece. And T-Look says, if one was to hoard SKXs, which model would be the best to hoard? 007, 009, 13, or orange? Short answer, yes. Hoard them all if you want. I would say hoarding the orange one and the yellow one would be the best bets for making a profit, although you're going to have to hold them for quite a while. The 07, 09, I'd say no, not now anyway, because there's so many out there. Those two were the most common models in the most common size. The 13, maybe the 13 wouldn't be a bad hoard. Again, it'll have to be a little while. But this 07 and 09, I think, would be less of a hoardable watch in the short term, because there's so many of them. And even if, like I said, I've said it before, I'll say it again, even if the supply dried up next week, next month, next year, there's still that big aftermarket out there making cases and crystals and bezels and inserts and chapter rings and movements and stems and crowns and gaskets and all the parts and bracelets and straps and all the parts you need to build one from scratch. And the 07, 09s are the most imitated on the builds. So I'd say the 07, 09 are a low candidate for hoarding. Definitely the orange one, definitely the yellow one, because those are rare. I think this one, the SKX A65, the Thailand, only 2,999 were ever made. So there's a bit of rarity to this one. I'm not going to hold on to it because I'm going to hoard it. I'm going to hold on to it because I love it. I mean, that is a great colorway. Look at this colorway. I wish my lighting was better, but look at that blue. That's a blue I've never seen before. I've never seen a 50/50 SKX Pepsi bezel, at least not from Seiko. So a 50/50 Pepsi bezel and that Thai blue, that Thai flag blue, is beautiful to me, and definitely a keeper. Let's see, collector 1296. Got to make a phone call. We'll come back later if I'm still streaming. Have a good Labor Day weekend. Stay safe. Cheers. Cheers to you, sir. I'm not going to be streaming much longer. This stream has already gone 48 minutes, and quite frankly, I'm getting tired. So I'm going to wrap the stream up right now. I appreciate all of you, Steve and Joseph, T-Look, Collector, Desert. I don't know if Desert Sentinel is still out there, but I appreciate him stopping by. Desert Sentinel, I don't know if any of you guys are into, know what First Amendment auditors are and sovereign citizens and that kind of silliness that's out there in the political world. But there's a great world out there of crazy people who call themselves sovereign citizens and First Amendment auditors and the lovely Moorish American national loonies out there. And Desert Sentinel is Dead channel is a good source to get some information about that world out there that not a lot of people know exists. But I got to tell you, once you start watching some of those, it's very entertaining and a lot of fun to see just how far down the rabbit hole some people in our society go in terms of, crazy. But, that's something else entirely. I appreciate Desert stopping by because he's a good guy. Anyway, but, that's something else entirely. I appreciate Desert stopping by because he's a good guy. Anyway, going to wrap it up. I definitely appreciate all of you stopping by. If you're not already subscribers, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon so that when I upload, you're notified when I upload more content. If you have comments later, come back to the video, put the comments down on the bottom. I subscribed already, yes, subscribed already. And I appreciate you coming in and talking to me about this and helping me pass the time on a Friday evening. If you're anywhere near the path of Dorian, stay safe. I'm going to try and stay safe myself. Y'all have a good rest of the evening. I'll see you on the next video.